Well, hello, vinyl community. Thought I'd show off some of my Halloween albums for the Halloween season. This is, if you remember, a 1972 short-lived television series called Ghost Story with Sebastian Cabot. This is kind of like, I wouldn't call it a soundtrack, but it's based on stories from that TV show. I have fond memories of that show, actually. I look forward to it every Friday night. So that's one. Troll Records did a nice series of albums, and I don't have them all, but I got a few. This is Scary Spooky Stories. And it's got some nice tales on there. And then they did one called Weird Tales of the Unknown, which is kind of hard to come by. You don't run across this one too often. And it's got some nice tales on there. Black Cat, The Cat That Didn't Purr. So, good one to have. Then there's another Troll Records one called Thrillers and Chillers. And some of the tales on there. The Boy Who Drew Cats, The Open Window, The Monkey's Paw, Telltale Heart. All came out in about 1973 or so. Great ghost stories. And another Troll Records one. Then this one from 1969, Halloween. And it's got various little songs and stories about Halloween. Hard one to come by. Ghost Stories, 2 complete Halloween ghost adventures. Free magic witch's wand glows in the dark, but unfortunately it's missing the witch's wand. This Frankenstein sounds like it might be off of a radio program, and the sound quality's not that good on it. Halloween Fun. This is a relatively recent one. Came out in 1989. And it's kind of obscure. I just ran across this a couple years ago. I basically got it because I like the cover. Then going back to 1964 with Dracula's Greatest Hits. And this is kind of a, well, the monster thing was taken off because of the old horror films being sold to television. And of course the Beatles invasion had happened, so I Want to Bite Your Hand was based on I Want to Hold Your Hand. And it comes with the uncut sheet of 15 Monster fan cards. That is very cool. Whoever had this, they didn't cut them out so that they had the cards. They left it on the sheet. So very cool. If you run across that album and it doesn't have the cut, the sheet of cards, and it's missing. Here's one from 1959, Terror Tales by the Old Sea Hag. And for as old as this album is, it's in pristine condition. The vinyl looks like it's never been played. And this Martha Wentworth was kind of well known back in the day, but I don't think anyone knows who she was nowadays. Scary Tales featuring John Zachary. I like this cover, very Halloween. and we just lost him a few years back. He lived to the age of 98 years old, but very cool one to own. And this is the first vinyl version of the Orson Welles War of the Worlds broadcast of October 30th, 1938. It was on the Audio Rarities album, or the Audio Rarities label in 1955. Unfortunately, it's not the whole program. It's highly edited. But if you bought the Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine back in the day, they had a couple pages of albums that you could order. Well, this was one of them. And then we've got the first pressing of Chilling Thrilling Sounds of the Haunted House by Disneyland Records. This came out originally before the Halloween season, and it proved so popular that they reissued it for the Halloween season and gave it more of a Halloween looking cover. So the first pressing is like a white cover, and the second pressing looks like this. And then years later they added a blurb on the cover for, you know, a special inner sleeve called Spooky Party Hints, which I also have a copy of. But this first pressing is still in the shrink. So, two good ones to have. There's the original Monster Mash, Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers, 1962, and still in the shrink wrap. Amazing. Back cover of it. Now this was reissued in 1973 because it was a hit all over again during the summer of 1973, which is kind of odd when you think about it. But they changed the front cover, and the back cover was basically the same, except they added Bobby Boris Pickett's picture, which hardly looks like him, so I guess that's how he looked in 1973. And we got Halloween Horrors, and that's basically sound effects and a story called Halloween Horror. Getting close to the end here. This was a library copy that I found used a few years ago. Spirits and Spooks for Halloween, Summon Up by William Conrad. That's one you don't come across too often. And from 1974, the Monster Mash Sounds of Terror. I actually bought this new in 1974 for $1.98. And I had it for 3, 4, 5 years, and I got rid of it. And then a few years ago, I came across it, or rather my wife did, in the dollar bin of a used record store we go to. So after all those years, I got it back. And here we got Famous Monsters Speak. Used to see this a lot in the back pages of Famous Monsters of Filmland. It was actually this album that got me started on collecting Halloween vinyl. So that's it. That's all I got to show. Basically, I got different various copies of the Orson Welles War of the Worlds broadcast, and Trick Treat, which has an edited edition of it. So then there's the musical version, Jeff Wayne's musical version. This is a white label promo copy, and my various Chilling, thrilling sounds of the haunted house. I got quite a few of them. Alfred Hitchcock Presents Ghost Stories. So thanks for looking at my second video of my Halloween stuff. And I'll try to do one a week if possible, different things, because I got a lot of different types of records. So alright, well thanks for watching.